Live from Goshen, Indiana, it's Emma Lou Beachy with Heartfelt Creations.
Hi, I just want to say welcome to each one of you. This is our first ever live stream. We're really excited. I know we have people watching us from all over the globe, so I'm so glad you got to join us today. I know I saw this morning some of my Australia friends were chattering on Facebook and saying they've set their alarms for 3 to 5 a.m. So I'm sure you're watching in your pajamas. I also want to just say happy Thanksgiving to my U.S. crafters. I know many of us are probably still very stuffed from the Thanksgiving turkeys that we ate, including the pumpkin pie. My mom makes the best pumpkin pie. In fact, myself and the entire crew just got finished eating some of that before we went on air. So we're really excited about the live stream today showing you the Flipfold albums and the inserts. Many of you have already purchased those online. So today we just want to kind of give you a little bit more detail and demonstrations of what you can do with these albums and inserts, and also give you the opportunity to interact. So we're just going to have some fun together and give you the opportunity to ask questions. So I'd like to invite you to ask any questions you like, whether you want to ask questions about how the inserts and albums work, or maybe this is your first time seeing any of the videos from Heartfelt Creations or any of the live stream, whatever. So you might want to just ask some questions that you have about dies, stamps, and so forth. So to get started, I'm going to kind of go over the inserts. I was really trying to think about what do we want to focus in. So we're going to look at the Flipfold pockets and inserts first of all. Many of you might have seen this morning. We just debuted this at midnight. This is the 3D Flipfold album, and this comes in a craft, a black, and a white. We have the pocket and Flipfold inserts, and what I love about these is you're going to be able to showcase your special occasions. Yesterday, my family and I celebrated Thanksgiving at my grandpa's shop. He's 90 years old. He has all sorts of tools and all this fun stuff in his shop, and it really just was a great day celebrating together as a family. And during the holiday season, you will find that you're taking a lot of these pictures, and the albums and these pocket inserts will enable you to capture those memories. So I don't know if you're a scrapbooker or a card maker. I love it for both. Throughout the show, we'll be doing demos with the album, but this can really be used for cards or whatever you like to use. So to get started, I really wanted to show you first of all how to work with the pocket and Flipfold inserts. So with the pocket and Flipfold inserts, the first one we're going to talk about is insert A. We have insert A, B, and C, and D. With these inserts, you're going to be able to do a lot of different things. However, when you look at these up close, you'll see for insert A, you'll see that there's different designs on the back. So I just wanted to make sure that when you open these up, you're not like, Emily, what the heck am I doing with this? So to get started, I'm going to open my Flipfold Pocket A so that you can kind of see what you're getting when you're pulling this out, so that you can kind of get an idea of what you'll be doing. So I'll just pull this to the side, and one of the very first inserts that you'll see is an insert that looks like this. So what I really recommend is you'll see there's a score lines, and this has one fold in it. You can use it just like this. You'll see that these score lines are on the side, so you could just fold this over. When you do fold these, if you just do a bend, you will want to use your score tool. So what I like to do is a lot of these have one score line, so you can go back, you can just, kind of fold that, just make sure that there's a good crease in there. But a lot of them have two score lines, so that creates a little bit thicker pocket. So for this one, let me see, this is the pocket I created with this one. So as you can see, you would just bring this over and glue this shut, and you have a pocket like this. So for this specific one, you can decorate it however you like, and I added a little insert into the center with a decorative die on top. Many of you have already purchased the decorative border dies. These are absolutely phenomenal paired with the inserts. So so you can make pockets. The Flipfold pockets in inserts A, B, C, and D have a lot of pockets. So this is another pocket form. You'll see that this has more of a decorative flap. So for this one, when you're putting it together, you can literally just, fold those edges. So with the albums and the inserts, what I absolutely love about them is you don't have to create these albums from scratch. It's kind of like, when you think about a house, do you want to build the house or do you just want to decorate the house? So with these albums, you don't have to put together all the parts of the outside of the album and for the inserts as well. So you can just go ahead and decorate it. So let me see. So for this one, I just added the decorative paper from the All Glammed Up, and then we have the pocket from the top. So our next flip folds, we're just going to go ahead and put these on the inside, and then the next one we have, I kind of made some little notes so I don't lose where I'm going here. So this one are two pockets, and you might look at this like, okay, what do I do with this? So you'll see the folds on the side, and then this one is just a shorter version. So in the album that we've dubbed our Germany album, this showcases beautiful pictures of a trip my husband and I took on our 9th anniversary. So here we go. You'll see on this side of the page, you'll see that this pocket was attached to the base of the album. And we'll show you in a little bit how to add these pockets so it makes more sense. Here you'll see that these slide in and out. Here is a flip fold pocket that you can just pull out, and you'll see all these you could do journaling tags, you could do photos, you could add photos in here that you normally might not be able to get into like a mini album. So there's a lot of different options for you. So that's where that insert is featured in here. So we'll set this one aside and we'll look at the last insert. This one I really absolutely love. This has a left and a right. So you could flip this around. You could put one on the left side and the right side of your album. You'll see this has a fold on each side. So you'll just tuck this onto your album. And you'll see that it has a double fold, so you want to make sure that you add those double folds to your album. So let's bring this one in. So this album, this was made by our design team member, Joanne Jameson. I know many of our design team members are watching at the moment, and I just want to say thank you to all of you for all the beautiful albums that you sent in. So this one was done by Joanne. You'll see that this pocket was used over here, and then she added this on the inside. This is a beautiful decorative corner that we just released this morning as well. And then let's see, here on the other side, you'll see that pocket is going sideways. Let's actually just pull this away so you can see this a little bit better. So you can see over here she has these pockets with tags, and you could do photos, or you could do this, let me see, this one you could also decorate on the back as well. So we'll pop this back in, and we'll go into adding an insert to your album, so that makes when you open your box that you receive, you're ready to go to add these inserts and albums to your pages. So to get started, we're going to grab this bare album. So this is the craft color. And when you look at this, I have this open from the front page here. It's all decorated with just a plain sheet of paper. So this one I just left an 1/8 of an inch edge, and I'm going to grab my my demo here, and we can get started with that. Let me see. Okay, so for this one, this is the pocket that we had just been using, that wide pocket that you saw on the purple page. And all I did is I took a border. Okay, let's look at this one. So this is the border out of the Regal Borders die set. It comes from this one right here. So you can see I just clipped that off the top, and I had a decorative paper that I clipped that off as well. So my recommendation is when you are working with your flip folds, you're going to want to make sure that you decorate your pockets and inserts first. And typically you can do this as much or as little as you like. I just see my glue is a little bit plugged up, so just unclog it if you're using the glue with the fine tip. And when I'm testing to see if there's glue at the tip, I'll just kind of squirt that off on my finger, and we'll see that, make sure that that's coming. So we'll just put some glue on the edges. When you're doing the decorating these, I like to put the glue right on the edges. And once again, if you ladies are watching and you're like, Emma Lou, please show me this, or I have a question about this, make sure that you send in an email, because in a little bit we'll be going into answering your questions. So, and I'd love to hear from you, so just go ahead and ask those questions at studio@heartfeltcreations.us. We also have a chat bar on the side. We'd love to know where you're watching from, so if you want to go ahead and just list your name and where you're watching from, we would love to see that as well. So here you've got this decorated. Now you could add as much or as little embellishments as you like. So I'm just going to add a little photos or a sentiment strip on the top here. And embellish that. You could add your flowers, you could even add a little photo in the front here. To add this to your album, typically I will wait to add this decorative page, but this is going on the top. So what you'll want to do is, let's see here, we will glue these two sides first. So we'll glue this down first. And just make sure that you have plenty of glue. If you're thinking, well, what is the best glue to use? It's totally optional. However, I found that the Dries Clear glue is a very great product to use with these. It gives you a little bit of play time. It doesn't adhere uber fast. However, once it's glued down, those pockets will be on there and they won't come off. So I'm just going to kind of press that down. You can see that a little bit better from this angle. So just kind of press that down and make sure that that is adhered properly. What I like to do at this point is just kind of clip some of these. So I'm going to grab a couple little clips. Let me see, we'll do two. So we'll just bring this up and over. So we have this clipped up in here that will make that that kind of adheres into place there. Just open this up and clip this together, so you've got that in there. And then you'll go back and you'll glue the front sides, because this is not extending over the side there. So we'll just add a little bit of glue to the very back. I know that might be a little bit hard to see right now, but just kind of go the back there and just kind of press that down. So right now, since this is wet, we'll just kind of lay this aside to dry, and then we'll look at the pocket and inserts in the B pocket. So when you look at this online, you'll see that this one is pocket and inserts. Actually, I picked up the wrong one. This is supposed to be, here we go. This is pocket and Flipfold inserts B. So with this one, these on the back, you'll see that they're a little bit larger. This is the perfect one for cards. You'll see that there's a 6 1/4 by 15 1/2. This will fold up into a beautiful card, and all of these sizes are awesome for cards. So we're going to start out by just pulling this out. Let me just pull some of this stuff aside, and we'll get to showing you that. So want to make sure my glue doesn't clog up, so I'll put our pin in there. Okay, so we'll pull these out and we'll look at some of these Flipfolds. Okay, so this first one, if you watched the videos this morning, you might already have seen this one. This Flipfold, when you first open it up, this is exactly how you'll see it. It opens up like this, and when you open these, you're going to be able to like fold this one toward this direction, or you could fold it the opposite way. So whatever you prefer. You could also make it go this direction, or you could have it close up like this. So there's a lot of options. When you look at these, don't think, okay, I only have one option. You really can do multiple variations with it. So for this one, you will see it in this Germany album on the very front flap. I actually have a video that shows how to decorate and adhere this one. So Tracy will be adding the link in the chat screen so you can see where those videos are. But this kind of just opens up like this. So this was just hinged on the side. This actually flips open here, so you could still add like a pocket or whatever you'd like on the side there. And then on the front, this just slips in. So if you're a card maker, you might be thinking, oh, Emma Lou, but I don't do mini albums. So with this, specifically the B insert, we have some beautiful cards. This is a Christmas card that will open like this. This was actually, let me put this one aside. hold on a second here. This was this one. Okay, so you'll see, have a little cheat sheet label so I know where each one comes from. So here we go. So you'll see this one comes here, and then we just went ahead and folded it down like this. So you have kind of like a stair-step card, and you could just kind of open and close this if you'd like to. However, on this one, we wrapped a paper around the back so that it creates this pocket that you can have your sentiment in the front, and you can flip it around, and you have a cute little picture on the back. This is Chanel. She's not in the studio today. We were afraid she'd bark, but anyway. So, so we'll have that one, and then we have another one. So we'll bring that out. Oh, over here it is. Oh, that one's faulty. So for this card, this is from, oh no, this is the same one we just showed. So this is two different variations. This is how it looks when it's all open. So you have that all open, no paper in there. And then we also have this insert on the side. This was a beautiful die from the Regal Border set. Here, once again, you have the sentiment and then the family photo in the back. So we're going to slide this one to the side, and we have one more for the Germany album in this one. So this page for this insert, this could be used for a 6x6 card. But it's 6x6 on the back, then it's 3 inches and 3 inches, and then I think another 1.5 inches. So for this one, I added it to this album. This is not completely finished, so this could totally be embellished yet, however you like. But for this one, you can kind of see how this goes off to the side. So this has that border that I decorated on the side. That's from the Regal Border die as well. So you can kind of just flip that shut. And then we have the, let me see, we have in the Farmer's Market album, we have another stair step up here. This is one that Ann Harada, design team member, she made this one. She stuck little tags in there. You could add a beautiful photo on the top here and in here. And that was using the last insert from Flipfold Album and Pocket Inserts B. So you can kind of see, here's a fold. You could bring this one back. You could bring this up. So you can really do a lot of fun different things with these, and you have your card base, or you can add that to an album. So you can kind of do whatever you like. So with this particular insert, we are going to do something a little bit different from what you just saw. We're actually going to add that into the pocket we just glued down. So hopefully that's dry by now. So I'm going to go ahead and pop all of these pockets back into the this pack, and we'll check how those inserts are drying. So when you, first of all, when you look at these inserts, you pop them out, you might be like, oh, what do I do with this? You can always refer back to the live stream, and you can see what you can create with them. And as we're going through, once again, you can always go ahead and ask a question by emailing studio@heartfeltcreations.us. In just a little bit, we're going to be starting to answer those. Before we get to that, we're going to go ahead and grab the second demo for this. This is the insert, no, actually it's the next, hang on a second, it's this one. This one right here. This is the stair step card we were just looking at. And when you look at this, all I did was I just used some paper panels from the Enchanted Mum paper collection and added those on the front. Here I added a little bit of the sentiment, and then I trimmed the border. I also added these decorative panels to the back. So you really can just go have a lot of fun decorating these however you wish. So let's check and see if this is dry enough that we can kind of start to play with this a little bit. Oh, it looks like the pocket on the end is a little bit, needs to be, should have been tacked down a little bit more, but that's okay. So you could go ahead and you could add this flip fold in like this if you like, and that would be, and then you could pull it out, add your photos, or if you wanted to, you could add it this way as well. However, this side still needs to be glued down properly. So you could do it however you like, and then finish that with some you know, some flowers and so forth. So I think at this point what we're going to do is kind of go over some of the bundle deals. I know many of you have been excitedly ordering online, and there's so many different options. However, if you're just getting started and you kind of want a starter set, we have a 3D Flipfold album bundle available today with a special savings. It's just a Black Friday savings. And with that bundle, we have one each of the craft, the white, and the black album. So you get one of every color, and then you also get one of each of the inserts for each color. So that means you get the insert A, B, C, and D for the craft, the black, and the white. So that will give you 12 inserts and 3 albums. So that's kind of a basic bundle. We also have the dies. So many of you have been going absolutely crazy over these dies. They're great for the tag toppers. We're going to demonstrate some of these in the next segment of the live stream. But there's many options for these, and you'll see them throughout all of the albums that I'm working with. So I'm going to just show these a little bit more close up, and you can kind of see those details. So these are available in a small bundle. And then last but not least, we have released the storage solution for your stamps and dies. So if you want to kind of, oops, let me bring this out of the way so you can see this a little bit better. So this will host your stamps, and if you choose, you can also add your dies to that as well. I'm going to pull out my storage binder that has all my stamps in it. I was so excited about this because this really organizes your stamps and dies. So there's a tag that comes along that you can embellish and write down the collection name. This one has the All Glammed Up collection in it. So what you're going to do is you can open this up, and I have a video online that details how to add these stamps and dies. However, you can see how these will perfectly store these. So we have a bundle available today. It's just a Black Friday special. So these are, you'll see all those details online. I believe it's like 4 in a bundle for a special savings. However, you have the option to purchase all of these bundles at all the items in one I Want It All. So if you're like, Emmylou, I want one of each of these, just go to the home page, click on the banner. That will take you to all the details. So you will absolutely love that. So before we go on our first little break, what we're going to do is we're going to answer some questions. So let's kind of see what we, okay, so let's see here. Well, these, we have Stamptistic cards, and it's Lynn from Greensboro, North Carolina. Hello, Lynn. She's asking if the stamps and dies will be available at the CKC in Manchester in April of 2016. Man, it's hard to believe 2016 is just around the corner, but yes, they will be there. And if you're coming to a show in your area and you're really concerned that we have the items there that you're wanting, what you can do is you can place an order and you can have us bring it to the show for you. That makes sure that you have exactly what you're looking for. So let's see, we have, let's go back here. I just downsized my screen. Oops. Okay, so we have Terry from West Bloomfield, Michigan. Hello, Terry. She says, do you have a recommendation for what type of magnet sheeting to use for storing your dies in the storage binder? And also, how do you recommend attaching it? You know, that is an awesome question. I have some storage magnets that I like to use. They're like a flat sheet. Off the top of my head, I'm not exactly 100% sure what the brand is, but they're just a flat magnet. And I like to glue those with the Dries Clear glue. So that's typically what I like to do. What we'll do is we'll get back with you on the brand name with that and get you that answer on exactly what the brand is for that. So, and you asked, do you think you could glue it behind your fuchsia die pages? So absolutely you could do that. So you can use those. And then Juliet Hendry from Australia, she's probably watching us in her pajamas. It's 5 a.m. there. She says, can you please tell us the width of the pocket dies? The pocket dies, actually, that's a great question. If you're on the website and you click on the individual dies, it will show you the measurements. The pocket, these are different borders and corners, but they range anywhere from 3 1/4 to 4 1/2 for the really large ones. The border dies are typically like 5 3/4 and 5 1/2. Some are 6 inches. And then there's the ornate borders and pockets. That one is at 3 3/4 and 3 1/2 inches. Some are at 4 inches. So there's some varying sizes in there. Let me just go back and double. Okay, so before we go on a quick break, I just want to let you know that we're going to have a special guest joining me in just a little bit, and then you'll see a little break on a break where I'm going to show you kind of where I started in crafting. And so stay tuned. After the break, we'll do more demonstrations and show you a little blooper reel at the very end. Not everything goes smoothly when we're taping, so that'll be fun as well. So we'll see you in just a little bit.
I grew up in an Amish family, and my mom and dad taught me at a very young age how to cook and clean, sew, crochet. And so when I was about 9 years old, my mom was trying to find something to creatively keep us kids occupied during the winter when we were sick and housebound. So she discovered this set of stamps from an Oriental Trading Post catalog. So she ordered that, and along with a writing pad, and little did she know how dramatically that would change not only my life, but my entire family's life, and open up like this entire world of creativity. One of my favorite pieces that I created as a young girl was these pins. I would create them and display them on a vest. I would make multiples and exchange them with local crafters. And today I still love to do a lot of altered projects, cards, and use a lot of dimension that you can really create quick 3D projects without spending too much time. I like quick coloring techniques and a lot of glitter to just add that finishing wow factor.
So joining me is Linda. She is the CEO and founder of Heartfelt Creation. She's also known as my mom. So Linda's actually the one that came up with the idea to bring a solution for the creative albums. So Linda has designed and done so many different artistic work behind the scenes. She draws a lot of the images that you see, and she is not only an amazing artist, but she is a mom to myself and my sister and brother and all of us here at Heartfelt Creation. So she's also kind of dubbed as the mother behind the scenes. So with that, you know, you kind of came out with the idea of like coming up with a solution for the scrapbooker and card maker and creating these flip folds. So can you just kind of give us an idea on what your thoughts were behind that?
Yes, absolutely. When I was so intrigued by the amazing creativity and the interaction of this type of albums, and I loved just the what you could do with it. And so when I dived into making one for the first time, I got really hung up on the engineering part of making the base of the book and the fold outs and things, and I was just like, there has got to be a better way. Yes. So I started concepting some of the albums and the base folds and things like that, just to get a feel of like what's possible for our crafters and what would bring a creative solution for all of us. So yeah, that was, and what I really love about this concept is the story form. The story form of just, say you have a wedding, like I was making an album for our daughter's wedding, and I could take one side of the page and I decided how many photos I wanted to use, and I adjusted my folds according to how many photos I had. I was not restricted to just like a 12 by 12 space with one layer. I could make as many layers as I wanted. No, absolutely. So I was, I just love that aspect that, you know, the step one, you know, she's, my husband is walking our daughter down the aisle, then she's standing up, the next step, she's standing up by the altar, and they're exchanging vows and their first kiss, and then walking back, and just, it's the story form, you just relive every moment right in your pages again, and that is so awesome. And whether it's you're going on a special trip, you know, when you stop at a little cafe and you have that special little mocha or cafe, you know, stuff like that, those little moments, you can capture them just step by step. And especially if you have some photos that did not picture perfect maybe, and you have a pocket that you would just want to, you still want the photos, and if you're like me, you'll just keep every one of them. And then, so you create these pockets and just slide them in there. You can just pull them out and bring them up close, and it's just that close-up interaction. I just make it so personal and so like you. What do you want? What do you need? And for a lot of grandparents that have super cute grandkids, you love to have all those photos in there, make little brag books. This is super awesome for that. So that was where I was coming from, and what I love about.
Can you imagine as a grandma, like having this little brag book with all of your grandkids? You can stick it in your purse, and when you're talking about them, you can just pull it out. So you can really use it on cards or your albums.
Or your pets, your dog, you know, that's important too. You can't forget those. So
we have she is actually the owner of the little spoiled toy pooch. She's number one. Richard and I are number two when it comes to taking care of her. So, are there any other, like, anything else that you kind of want to say or?
Well, just in closing with just the whole. This is our first time on air, and I just want to say, if you're with us for the first time, or if you've been with us for 10 years, we appreciate you guys so much. Yes. We would not be where we are today without each one of you, and for that we're so grateful, and just like love you.
Just one thing I want to say before she takes off is. Earlier this year, she's been working, what has it been, like over 9 months on concepting and engineering the albums and the inserts. And earlier this year, she had a little outpatient procedure done. And when she was waking up from anesthesia, I was with her, and she looks at me and she's like, Emma Lou, she said, you know, those albums, we need to come out with one in every color of the rainbow. And so I kind of laughed at her, and then afterwards I said, did you know you were saying one of every color of the rainbow, but we settled on black, craft, and white, and then you can make them any color you want. So
I think that still would be awesome, though.
It still would be awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much. All right. We're going to get back to kind of covering the inserts, pockets and inserts C and D. And once again, we would love to hear from you. Any questions that you have, you can email at studio@heartfeltcreations.us. One thing I did forget to mention earlier, this is a special live stream offer. If you're placing your order online, we are offering a special free paper pad of your choice, because when you're making these albums, you will be using a lot of paper. Actually, I saw a question come in that said, how much paper will I use? You can use one 12 by 12 paper pad over an entire album. If you keep it very simple, you might be needing two, depending on how elaborate you go with that. So if you enter free paper pad into your discount code when you check out, that will bring that up. It's all one word, and we'll pop that up on the chat screen so you can see that code. So we're ready for the second set. For the pocket and insert C, I'm just showing the craft color. However, if you have black, white, you could use those as well. So for the C, you'll see that on the back here we have 5 different inserts, and each of these are pretty much different sizes. So we'll pull this one up. This one is the C, and we'll open these and kind of give you some ideas of what you can do with these when you work with these. So if you're just joining us on the live stream, we have different ways that you can use the pockets and inserts, and I really wanted to ensure that when you open your packages at home, that you're not confused about what you can do with them. I'm showing one option, however, it's really up to your creativity. So for this one, this is made by Joanne. This is a beautiful 3D album where she kind of altered it on the bottom to add some little pull-outs, but here on the side she kind of added an extra flap and used the beautiful regal die on the side. And then we'll open this up, and this first insert, so you'll see that for this one, When you open this up, it's folded like this. You could have made this fold go in the opposite direction, made these flaps go down the side. So you can really customize these to whatever you like. This one will wrap around on this side. I'm kind of doing a rough fold here, but you can kind of see how you could do it this way, or you could fold that in and do it the opposite way. So, so on the second page here, we have this flip fold coming. Let me see here. I believe this one is coming down from the top here, so it looks, let me see. Oh, no, here. We've got it in here, so you'll see it coming open from the side. She actually has that fold in the top here, and then she has that attached on the side here. So this one, she kind of stuck a couple different sentiments up here. And then, so that's one of the aspects. On the second page on here on the right, this is the next one that is in this set. So this kind of opens up from the side. And when you look at this pocket, she kind of, she has that one, so you could also cut that off on the top there. Actually, there's another another one I just thought of that I want to show you with this insert that I thought was really cool. So this opens in the center, and you could use a decorative die to cut off the top. So the way you can work with that is on this one, you'll see that used in the middle here. So that just opens up like this. So you have that decorative die on the top, and you can decorate both sides. So that comes from an inside fold. So a lot of different options with that. Okay, so our next flip fold looks like this. Again, you have a hinge on the bottom, and I would really recommend, like here on the live stream, we have a couple different ways that you can use these, but I have a set of 3 videos that you can watch some more illustrations with this. But this one is on the fourth page here. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. So I'll just bring this up, and you can see how this one kind of flips out, and she has a bow here that holds those flaps down. So you could do that as well if you like, or you could use a border die and trim those off. So you can kind of customize that to however you like. So we're going to close this up. We have a lot more close-ups of these, and if we have time at the end, we might be able to go back and look at some close-ups of those as well. So we'll close this up. We have a Peacock Paisley album over here too. The Peacock Paisley album has been, or the Peacock Paisley collection has been an all-time favorite this year. And on the front, the left side here, there's a little pocket, and this pocket is also in the Flipfold Albums C and, or Flipfold Albums, the inserts. So you'll see this pocket. So what she did is she took these flaps and just folded them on the sides. Once again, make sure that you decorate your pockets and first before you glue them together. So you just fold this on the side. Once again, make sure you use your scoring tool, and then you can take this pocket and just fold it down from the front. So you'll see that she used a regal border die on the end, and then she cut a scallop in there too. So that was just a fun way to decorate this one. And then another way to, let me put this one back, I wanted to show this pocket too. You'll see that here we have this pocket as well. This is actually the, let me see here, a little bit bigger one, but you could do the same thing with this. What I did is when this was open, I used one of the square cut mat create dies, and I just cut out the center, and that will give you the ability to put a little pocket in here. You could mount this to a card, or you could use this as for a photo too. So you'll see I use the beautiful decorative dies on the top, and that just kind of closes. You might be asking, how do we make sure that some of these flip folds stay shut? We use magnetic clips to, or magnets, not clips, to close these. And if you watch the videos and the link that we provide in the chat, you'll be able to see a little bit closer on how to work with those. So, so that was Flipfold C. We'll just switch this out and go to the D one. Okay, so Flipfold Pockets and Inserts D. When you look at this, this is how it will look from the kind of the front view. And then on the back, this is probably one of my favorite ones. However, when you open it up, it looks super intimidating. It's just because it has so many flip folds in it. So as you can see, there's 4 different flip folds in here. And you can see that these have a lot of scores. So these have been scored for you, and there's a lot of different options for these. So to get started with this one, I'm just going to, actually, this is my closed one. Let's pull them out of here. For this one, we have, we're going to pull in the Enchanted Mum. The Enchanted Mum album, some of you have seen online before, but you haven't seen this one much on the inside. So for this one, this first Flipfold pocket insert, you'll see looks like this. So when you open it up, you might be like, okay, what do I do with this? So you can see this is perfectly sized for the 4x6 photos. So you'll have the flaps on the top that you could just cut off with the border dies. Here is how it looks decorated. Here on the side, so you can pull that out, oops, kind of like that. Actually, so you have some of the pockets on the top and the bottom, and so these will just kind of come out over here, so you can slide those out, and you can also decorate the opposite sides. This album is still a work in progress, so it's not completely finished, but that kind of gives you an idea how that just folds in the side. So you'll see very different ways that you can work with these. Here's a big insert on the side there, and you can pull these pockets out. Once again, if you're looking at these albums and you'd like to see something more up close, just send us an email at studio@heartfeltcreations.us. I love to hear from you, and we can get your questions answered live for you. So for the next insert in this set, this is Flipfold Pockets Inserts D. Here's this one, and this one has a lot of little pockets. This one is really cute. I think this one would be cute for that little grandma's brag book that we were talking about for your purse. For this one, you could add the little, I'm actually not exactly sure on the sizes of this one. Let me see here. This fits the smaller photo sizes, so it's perfectly sized for that. But you'll see it cutely nestled right on the top of this album here. So, so we have this pocket here. So we have that. I'm just going to lay this album down so we can see this. Oh, this might be a little bit crooked. I need like 4 hands right now. So we have this open up here. So as you can see, there's a little picture of Chanel on a bike ride with her mommy. And then over here is just a little, some journaling, some flowers, just some decor, some more flowers. My mom grows the most beautiful flowers. She also draws the most beautiful flowers, if I could. Guess I'm a little bit biased to that. But anyway, so this will just close up nicely together. And you can bring that down, and we'll close that on the album. Actually, I flipped something wrong here. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Sometimes if it's not going together in your album, you have to kind of like flip it back. So just make sure that you are flipping those the right direction. So we have that all closed in there. Bring this to the side, and the next one. So I absolutely love these. This one is perfect for your 4x6 photos as well. This is a pretty big one, so it really extends, and you can get so many photos on this. However, if you're a card maker, this would be a great encouragement card, or you could add pictures of you and your friend and something special you did together and just make a little mini album. So for this one comes out of the side, and we're actually going to demonstrate this in just a little bit. So this comes out of the side here and flips up like this. So you can see you don't have to use much paper on something like this. She just added her photos. These are photos of actually my mom and dad's garden. You'll see my dad in the background of the corn. It's a little bit sad our harvesting season is over. However, I know Australia is heading right into the heat of their summer. So this one is decorated on both sides. So you can once again just close that up, and that folds in beautifully. So one of the highlights of the album that is really beautiful is the fact that it has this 1/2 inch gap in between the pages. So that makes that if you add a pocket and a flip fold on both sides, you're going to be able to close that, and you'll still have that gap in the background, so it doesn't smush it, or if you like to add a lot of embellishment, it's amazing. So let's see, we have one more insert from this set. So we'll just bring this back, and that is in the Farmer's Market album. Anne, design team member Anne, she created this album. It's absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love all the embellishments she used on this one. So as you can see, you can do it as clean and simple as you like, or if you like to go all out on embellishments, amazing. So for this one, this is on the 3rd page here. So here's some quick looks at this album. Here's the beautiful border dies. So let's see, this is on the 3rd page. I need to, 1, 2, 3. Okay, right here we go. Oh, this is what I wanted to point out. I absolutely love how she added this to the side here. Here we go. Sometimes you have to kind of work with these to open up. Here we go. There was a magnet holding that. So you'll see that this one is open like this. And when you look at this, there's actually a fold up here. She could have folded that down, but instead she used the entire sheet and didn't fold that down, because when you look at this insert, I'm just going to fold that up quickly. When you look at this, it has extra folds in it, so she did not fold some of those down. So you can have a lot of different options. You can go with the folds, or you can kind of rebel a little bit and do your own tweak to it. So, so we'll go into a little bit, another demonstration of how you can add these to your pages. So I'm going to move this aside, close this up. Sorry, Anne, I kind of made a little bit of a hash with this one. The magnets you'll have to kind of pry apart if you use magnets in your albums. So here she has some cute little tags that she inserted in there too. Okay, so we'll bring this to the side. And for our last demo, I'm going to use one of the inserts that we just were working with, and we're going to talk a little bit about the border dies. When you look at the border dies, let's actually look at those first. One of my favorite, actually, I was going to say one of my favorites, but I guess they're all kind of my favorites. But there's 3 different ones, and you'll see here are some cutouts of all the different ways that you can. I mentioned the regal borders and pockets dies a lot. Here are just some different ways that you can work with that one. We've used that one a lot, and then there's also the. Let me see, this one I like because it's a little bit shorter. So if you're doing a lot of tags and inserts, this one's perfect for that, for your cards and your layouts. This one is the ornate borders and pockets. And you can see how it does not cut off here if you don't use the bottom piece. So there's a lot of different options with that. And then this one has more of your corners. This one is called the Fleur Border and Pocket Set. So as you can see, you can do a pocket with it, or you can do your borders. So let's get started showing how to add one of the pockets that we just looked at onto our album. So I'm going to continue on the album we had been using, and we're going to add it to another page. So this kind of shows you how you can continue adding it to your album. Just keep in mind, if you're a card maker and you don't want to do an album, there's beautiful ways to make little mini brag books and cards. This is one that Candy Slaybaugh did, and she just made a beautiful ornate card. Here's it slips out here. So this would be a perfect gift to add a gift card in for your friends. Christmas is just around the corner, so you could do a lot of fun memories and things like that. So we'll just close that up and we'll go into showing you how this works. I'm going to pull in my die cutting machine, and I noticed one of you had just mentioned, Emily, you do need to get an electronic die cutting machine because you're having a hard time cranking some of the others. You're right, I have had those issues. If you didn't see the blooper reel, you'll see it in a little bit. However, let me grab my plates. I'm using the Vagabond today, and with the Vagabond, you can, it is an electronic machine. However, if you work with a manual die cutting machine, these dies will go through. But what I wanted to show you is I just folded this Flipfold inserts. I folded it how I wanted it to, and then I added all my paper. So you can just measure all your inserts. So I have one more to add here on the bottom. And so we'll just add this on the back. And so, and you could add it however you like. Oh, another tip, I always like to make sure that I sponge the edges of my paper before I add it to the Flipfold. So I like to make sure everything's decorated. And you'll notice how I pre-cut these borders. So I wanted to show you how I did. Here I used the Regal borders and corners, and up here we haven't done that yet. So I wanted to show you how you can do that. So let me just pull this aside for a little bit. Some of my stuff is kind of sliding around. Okay, so we're going to use this die. And this die is out of the Ornate Borders and Pockets set. So this one is a smaller one for some of your smaller borders, which are great. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pull my machine up a little bit further here in the center. I'll pop that in. And I am going to tape this. Now you'll see that I'm actually going to pull this tape off and use some new tape. So you'll see that there's borders. Now we have, when you look at these and they come out, you might think, oh my gosh, Emily, the border die is broken. The reason I say that is when you pull this out and you open this up, when you release these from the packaging, there's a piece on the bottom and there's a piece on the top. This gives you options, makes it you can leave it on your paper or you can cut it off. So they're not broken, they're actually designed that way, and we'll show you why in just a little bit. Once again, if you're watching and you have questions that you'd like to have answered, just go ahead and email studio@heartfeltcreations.us, and we would love to get those questions answered for you live. So for this one, I typically, if I'm cutting out a border and let me see, a border and maybe the top part, I like to cut them out together. So what I'll do is I'll first of all go ahead and just place those together so that they're evenly apart from each other, and just put a piece of tape. When you're doing this, you might want to lay your die down, but so you'll just do it like this. And then this gives you the ability to have even spacing in between there, and you can lay this down and just make sure that your entire die is placed perfectly on your machine. I'm going to just bump that in a little bit further and then just put that down. Now since we're running such a long insert through, I don't want it to run against this, so I'm putting it at the very edge of my machine. I'm going to put just a little shim on the top. I don't know if I really need it or not, but that's just there as a safety measure in case my die needs a little extra pressure. So we'll put that in, and this is ready to run through the machine. So you have this whole little train following you when you're doing this to the inserts. So I'll just go ahead and do this to the background. Okay, so let's see how that looks. So you'll see that's all cut out on the back there. So you'll bring this out, pull that apart, and let me see if I can find a scissors here. So you'll see that since this is all cut out, you can go ahead and just clip off the sides there. There we go. So you can see how quickly you can add a beautiful border. This does not just have to be used on the pockets or the inserts. You can use this on any of your cards. So I think we're finished with the machine here, so we'll just pull this out and we'll go ahead and add those inserts to our album. So you might be watching this and be like, Emily, I don't know if I can do this. Really what I recommend doing is just opening those pockets and just kind of start playing with them until you're kind of comfortable with them. Start decorating them, and pick out one of your favorite paper pads and just start adding those photos, and you'll be inspired in no time with that. So we're going to bring up our album and add this to our page. I'm going to pick a different page. You could have gone on the back side of the first one we did. However, I did not want to overlap on this side. So we're going to fold this together just like we would have it in our book. So we'll bring this up. We'll put this down. And when you're folding these together, you might have to play with it a little bit. You want to make sure all those extra pieces are out of there. So we'll bring this down. You'll be like, okay, well, do I want this on the top? Yep, that looks good. But we'll tuck this, is going this direction. and then we'll bring this in here. So that is all folded together, and now you have an option. Now this one, since this is so much wider, I added an extra score line. So you could choose to hinge this on this side. Let me bring this over a little bit further. You could choose to hinge this and fold it over in this direction if you wanted to. You could do it from the top if you wanted to. So you could really do however you like. So it really doesn't matter. So we're just going to pick one and add it. So let's see, we'll do it here on the side. Make sure that that's going the right direction there. Let's see. You know what? No, I'm going to do it on this side because I want it going this direction. Okay. So we'll grab our glue. And I forgot to put the pin in, so this might be a little bit, oh no, it's coming. So just put a little bit of glue. If you're using the dry as clear, just make sure there's a good line all the way around. And then, let's see here, so we'll bring that in from this side. We'll just kind of, now I would always have some clips handy, so you can kind of just clip this on. So we'll go ahead and just press that down and just clip that together. So you'll see that you could have put this more in the middle of the page if you wanted to, or however you like. So from this instance, I haven't decorated the page in the back here. In this one, I had already done that. So now you could go ahead and add maybe another pocket flipping this way and add your decorative panel. So that one's glued in there and it's ready to dry. So we'll set that aside. And we'll kind of go over the different options of the Flipfold inserts and albums again. If you're just joining us with the 3D Flipfold albums, these come in craft, black, and white, so you can choose whichever color you like. The pockets and inserts, I think I'm missing one of them, but there's A, B, C, and D. So there's each A, B, C, and D. They have different styles. So once again, your A is going to be more your pockets, and that has that side pocket on each side there. And then let me see, B. This is the B. That has makes beautiful cards and flip folds for the albums. And then let me see, let's find C. I think I put that one over here. Yep, here it is. C is this one. That has beautiful sizes for cards as well and makes great flip folds for your albums. And then this one, the D, this is the one with all the crazy flips and folds. So this one, I would suggest maybe using it last, so get comfortable with the others first. So we have these available in your bundle. So if you go to the website at heartfeltcreations.us, you'll see a banner that says Black Friday savings. It is Black Friday here in the US, so we have a lot of different savings happening for you. Those are just available today. With those, there is a bundle where you get everything we released today. You get one of all the albums, colors, the craft, the white, the black, and then you get A, B, C, D inserts. Those are all available in black, white, and craft. And then you also get the storage binders, and you get one of each of the dies I showed. If you're just joining us, I want to make sure you saw the stamp storage binder. This is perfect. I don't know about you, but sometimes I have a heck of a time finding my stamps and dies. So this storage binder, it's a beautiful, beautiful packaging. So this would sit so nicely on your shelf, and it has a tag that you can decorate which collection it's in. So this is the All Glammed Up. That's one of my favorites. If you haven't seen that collection yet, you have to check it out online. But there's a beautiful shoes. What girls don't like high heel shoes, right? And so you open this up. This storage binder will hold 7 stamp sets. However, in this one, I show you how you can store your dies with your stamps. And with that, you're about able to get 6 stamp sets and a couple dies in there depending on how you use the packaging. I have a video, if you click on the binders on our website, there's a video that I show you how to put all this together. But it's a beautiful storage system, and you can add your stamps and dies all together very neatly in this package and just slide it on your shelf. All the dimensions for this is online. So once again, you can go ahead and check all of that online. So you'll see this beautiful package just for your craft room. So Let me see, how much time do we have yet? Okay, well, I think this probably gets close to wrapping up, but however, we want to answer some of your questions. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. And I think we're also going to have a special sneak peek of our December collection. So, okay, so, oh my goodness, let me see. We have Kuspo from India. She just says, I'm in love with the new collection and most of my questions are answered with the live stream now. Awesome. I just have one question. Do you need to emboss the die cuts to get a 3D effect using the tan mat? Anytime you're wanting to emboss with your dies, you do want to use that tan mat, and when you open your dies on the inside flap, there's going to be instructions on how you can use the tan mat to emboss with your specific machine, or there's also great YouTube tutorials on how to do that too. So, but yes, absolutely, the tan mat makes embossing an absolute breeze. Okay, Deb from Wilmar, Minnesota, hello. Is it cold or is it rainy like it's here in Indiana today? It's a perfect day to be in the studio today because it's like super dreary outside. Deb says, love this set of the dies are so wonderful, and she's wondering if we will be adding more die sets and inserts in the future. You know, that is to be determined yet. It's an awesome question. Linda's listening in the background, so her mind's probably whirring with some more ideas. So just stay tuned with that. There's nothing in the works as of yet, but we'll see how that goes. We have a gal by the name of Q Fernando that was asking, are the dies included to make additional pockets, or will I have to buy the pre-cut pockets? The inserts that you saw me demonstrate, those are just available as the craft white and black. So you'll want to buy those. So those are not available as a die. They're like huge, like some of them are 15 inches, some of them are 20 inches. So as of yet, those would be huge dies. So if you're wanting to get inserts and you're brave, you could use it as a template. However, it's totally up to you. That's just an option for you. And we have one from Jane from New Jersey. She said, what is the paper weight of the pockets and inserts? Is it chipboard? It is not chipboard. It is like a really thick cardstock weight. Do you guys know what the weight is on it? I'm thinking by the feel of it, it's heavier than the weight we use on our, I should know that, I know, but actually, is it on our website? I'm not sure. We'll get it on the website on the, underneath the albums. It's not there yet. However, I believe it's around 110 or more. So it's a pretty sturdy cardstock, so it won't wear out for you. So it's not chipboard, it's thinner than that. So that was an awesome question. And then we have a question. This is great. Andrea, she's actually one of the gals that many of you have seen at the show. She says, how many packs of the pockets are you typically using on the albums you're showing? You know, it really depends. If you are an all glammed up girl that likes to go all out with a lot of dimensions, you could probably use anywhere from 4 to 6 of the insert packs. But an average is about 1 per page. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 pages double-sided. So you could easily use 10 to 15 inserts in one album. So you can go as elaborate or as simple as you like. Okay. Well, I think that wraps up answering the questions. I do want to say, when you're checking out online, there has been a huge buzz on getting all these. There's been a mad scramble for that. So when you are checking out, we have a special live stream offer just for you. It's getting a free paper pad. If you're using these albums and these pocket inserts, you will go through so much paper. So we're giving you a free paper pad. All you have to do is just add free paper pad, it's all one word, into the discounts box when you're checking out online. If you have any problems with that, just email us and we'll help you step through that. But before you leave, we have a special blooper reel at the very end. This shows you kind of the different ways that of some of the things that don't go as planned when we're filming for the videos you typically see. But just before we cut off the live stream, I have a special edition of coffee. We are, so I'll give you a special sneak peek. This was We're coming out with a Coffee Talk collection. It is not on our website yet. However, on the second Wednesday of December, I don't have the date. I think that's like, what is it, December? I'm not sure what the date is, December 12th, or check it out. Second Wednesday of the month, we're coming out with a Coffee Talk collection. There's a collection of 3 dies, some of the borders that you saw today in the albums. These border dies were featured, so that's awesome. We've got the Coffee Talk coffee mug dies. And then you have some beautiful coffee inspired. So if you have a coffee lover in your life, and how many of us know people that love coffee? I think we all do. These are perfect to make the coffee shaped cards as well. Add a gift card. I love giving coffee gift cards. It's a quick and easy gift as a thank you. So that's something that's coming out. Those will be some of my next videos. And then there's a beautiful blue paper theme. So that's your sneak peek behind the scenes for watching the live stream. I just want to say thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate you just kind of, hanging out with me in our design room, and I would love to see what you create using these albums and these pockets and Flipfold inserts and what you come up with. Creativity is absolutely endless. So with that, I will leave you to watch the little blooper reel we have, and I look forward to seeing you online in Facebook or maybe even at classes that we're teaching around the country.
Maybe this will be that perfect little add-on to a gift that you're giving them. I know I could eat, oh my gosh. Coffee card, gift card, maybe in the inside, coffee card, gift card. I know that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, just go into the Coffee Talk collection, click on the,
that thing?
That thing. It's called a thing. It's a button. You just click on it. It's solve all your problems.
That through your machine, give it some muscle. So as you can see, it did not cut out that very first time. And that was hugely due to the fact that those rollers hit it one time and then it was done. Oh my gosh, I cannot crank this thing through.
You need an assistant.
Did you see me swallow?
Oh, that was funny.
Oh my gosh.
Camera has speed.
Marker.
Okay, so put some pizzazz into it. Not pizzazz, but like a little bit more.
Little syncopation.
What was that word?
Syncopation.
Syncopation.
Syncopation, like da, like no syncopation would be da 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 da. Syncopation would be da 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 da. You know, kind of.
Oh, you really do want her to sing the intro.
I love it.
Yeah,
See, I know like nothing about music, so I'm like, wait,
What's he talking
da da
Like, give me 2/8 notes and a quarter.
coming right up. And you'll love how many different ways you can create. Oh, I just fizzled out.
No fizzling.
No fizzling. I fizzled out that sentence.
Speed.
Marker.
I think sometimes I get scared when I think my mind is blank. I'm like, wait, where do I go now? My mind's blank right now.